risky.
It started with a vision.
People are interested in where they're going to live for 4 years.
The site, a 6-block area known as the Loop on Del Mar Boulevard, the Lofts of Washington University.
It's sort of between commercial, institutional, residential.
Home may be where the heart is, but the heart of this $80 million project was to create a place where students could live and the community could enjoy.
What's their experience going to be beyond the classroom? And this is a very important part of that experience.
The Lofts is student housing for more than 400 students and a retail mixed-use project. It has become a focal point in the area that people are drawn to, helping businesses and the community thrive.
There was demand for a lot of different housing types, including more student housing, that it was a very walkable neighborhood, that the infrastructure was there to support more density, and that more retail could be supported on the Del Mar Loop.
The modern design, newly developed commercial streetscape, and increased green space evolved into agents of change.
Do something different and do something that would be not commercial, but not institutional.
We didn't want it to, it may sound like a contradiction, we didn't want it to completely blend in. We wanted to have it be distinct in that it is a new building, but we didn't want it to overshadow the historic buildings that surround the area.
The Muse provides a wide pedestrian path to connect the commercial side of the loop with the residential side.
It has a very significant southern facade, and that was the facade that wanted to have the animated, fun, colorful face, as well as shielding the solar exposure during the day.
The project crosses into the cities of St. Louis and University City, a cooperative effort where both benefit with the division of tax revenue.
It brought new development into the community, new investment into the community, and it also brought a commercial establishment and commercial mix that the community had been demanding.
The project itself filled in an area that was kind of a missing tooth in the Del Mar Loop. It was an area that a big vacant lot.
When you walked down Del Mar, you basically came to a spot where there was no more retail.
And what residents haven't had for 40 years? A grocery store.
So the grocery store really did help with the approval process because the neighbors saw it as a plus, not just for Washington University students, but for them as well.
At first I said no immediately because the last thing I wanted to do was open another restaurant.
The area also craved a true 24-hour place to eat.
It extends the pedestrian sightline to make it easier and more desirable for people to walk up one side of the street and down the other. It's just smart city street planning.
It has a little bit of everything for anyone.
But putting the plan on paper was just the start.
It really started with engaging the neighborhood. And then once the neighborhood was engaged and presented with the project, then there were various city approvals.
Transparency with the public resulted in very little zoning and regulatory challenges.
I think the key to good representation is to balance the interests of all of those parties. And so I was at all of the meetings, asking questions also along with the neighborhood.
It's that presence that proved crucial when the trailblazing project reached road bumps.
The grocery store wanted a full drink liquor license. The neighbors were not so sure that they wanted a full package liquor store here. What we did negotiate through the neighborhood and with Washington University and the owner of the grocery store is that they would only have a beer and wine liquor license.
Much of my career has been about trying to craft win-win-win solutions between cities, universities, and neighborhoods. And I think this is a really nice example of a certain kind of project.
A project that success ultimately is measured in one of the most important metrics.
You want students that really love where they live, and the students really love where they live.